good evening and welcome back to Slack Smack. This is Sean Slack. Man, it's going to be an exciting night tonight. Welcome to the fifth episode, and we are glad to have you here. Our friends here in Brazil, all over South America, of course, my friends in the United States, and all over the globe. And again, we have a great show lined up for you, and we'll get to the interviews pretty quick. We're going to start with our a moment by talking about our section called Slack Optics. And this is kind of where we go into a discussion about certain topics. And today we're going to get into a little bit the Jordan versus LeBron debate. Now, before we get into the stats, I want to clarify a few things. I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida, which most of you know. I'm a huge Orlando Magic fan. My father had season tickets. We went to, I remember the very first preseason game. We beat the world champion Detroit Pistons, and it was almost like we won the world championship. It was crazy just for a preseason game. But, when I was there, we went to all the games I saw Michael Jordan play many times. I saw LeBron James play many times, and was really a great experience. I actually met Michael Jordan once in Chattanooga, Tennessee, of all places. I was running a shoe store up there, and he was in town when he was playing baseball with the Birmingham Barons, and met him one night in a nightclub. So it was a good experience. It was really cool to meet him. But here's my take. LeBron James, look, he's a great guy, a great father, great human being with all the things he's doing with the school and all the donations he's made. He's a really great guy. So it has nothing to do with him personally. He's also one of those another lifetime type of talents. We're still waiting for the next Jordan. We're waiting for the next LeBron. We were kind of hoping for Zion to be that guy, but he got hurt. So we'll have to wait and see. But as far as generational talent, definitely LeBron is in that conversation. But, for me, LeBron is kind of all about LeBron. He didn't win titles without going to other pre-made teams. And that's one of the arguments I've always had with him is even though he's a great player, a hell of a talent, he didn't win these championships unless he went to a pre-made team. He was also not a primary scorer. He's only won one scoring title in his career. And, that carries significant weight. The rules right now are also very different. I think if Jordan played in today's rules where you basically can't touch anybody without fouling, probably Jordan would average 45, 50 points a game, and that's just a fact. And plus, the thing with LeBron, especially, he's changed a little bit now, but, he's a little bit immature as well. I was actually there in 2009 and in the Orlando Magic Stadium when we knocked him out of the Eastern Conference Finals and sent him on his way to Miami. And he basically pouted in Game 6 and walked off the court and didn't even shake hands with anybody. So, going back to the GOAT argument, you can see on this graphic, in the same amount of games, basically the points are basically the same. Definitely LeBron has the edge with the rebounds and the assists. And obviously in the win totals, but then you get to the finals, and then you got 6 championships for Jordan, 3 championships for LeBron. Again, there was no better finisher than Michael Jordan. I mean, the guy was deadly, and when you get 6 championships and you win them, that's a big deal. A couple more tidbits about with Jordan. A lot of people kind of bring up a lot of his stats and some of the things he's done. We can't forget, for instance, a 63-point game in the playoffs he had against the Celtics, the game winner over Craig Elo in the 89 playoffs, the shrug game in which he hit 6 first-half three-pointers and scored 35 first-half points in the 92 NBA Finals. Game 5 of the 97 NBA Finals where Jordan scored 38 points, including the game-deciding three-pointer with 25 seconds left, despite battling the flu. Game 6 of the 98 Finals when Jordan stripped the ball from Karl Malone and proceeded to hit a foul line jump shot to win. Now, look, Bill Russell may have won more championships. Chamberlain may have averaged 50 points a game in a single season, and Kareem might be the all-time scoring leader. But if you take in consideration the entire package, considering LeBron as well, in my opinion, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. And I think The Last Dance, the documentary that ESPN just showed, pretty much put an explanation point on that fact. So, look, like I said, LeBron's a talent. He's definitely a top 5 player. But as far as the GOAT, it goes to Michael Jordan. And that's my opinion. Now, so we're going to get to our next part. This is another section that we call Slack Smack on the Street. So let's take a quick look at the video. All right, good evening and welcome back to Avenida Paulista. This is Sean. I'm here with Slack Smack, the first edition, and I'm standing here with
Kevin.
I'm here with Kevin, okay? So we're going to ask Kevin a couple of questions here in reference to the show. Kevin, você pode pronunciar the nome do show? It's Slack Smack.
Slack Smack.
Tenta de novo.
Já esqueci o que você falou.
Não, tudo bem. Alright, I'm gonna fazer um pouco perguntas para você, ok? E vamos ver. Quem é o presidente dos Estados Unidos agora?
Donald Trump.
Ah, Donald Trump, muito bom. Você prefere Trump ou Bolsonaro?
Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro, ok, vamos lá. Ok, e também quem mate Epstein? Who killed Epstein? Did Epstein kill himself? Não sabe?
Não entendi o que
Just
você
falou.
falou.
Exatamente. Ok. Qual a capital dos Estados Unidos?
Capital dos Estados Unidos, Washington.
Washington, meu Deus do céu, lei americana de memes. E também, uma mais pergunta, ok? Hoje, da primeira Slack Smack, 20 horas. Você viu, né? Você assistiu?
Ah, sim, vou assistir.
É, bom, muito obrigado.
Se eu já tiver chegado em casa.
Exatamente, vamos lá. E também, olha, gente, você pode ver aqui na Avenida Paulista, ele vende máscaras. Quantas isso, mais ou menos?
Quantos por dia?
É.
Em média 50.
Nossa, ele vende, he sells 50 of these a day, mais ou menos quanto o preço?
Em média R$10.
Holy shit, I'm in the wrong business. That's like 500 reais a day, ladies and gentlemen. Tá bom, man. Muito obrigado, prazer.
Eu agradeço.
Fala mais. All right, so that's Slack Smack on the Street. We're going to try and do that weekly where we'll go around. And we're not just going to do interviews. We're going to have some fun with it in different parts of Brazil as well. And just show some different sides. I mean, man, that guy was a hustler. Look at the guys pulling in, basically 500 reais a day, by selling masks. I mean, I'm in the wrong job. My God. But it's really cool. There's a lot of things you see down here, a lot of interesting facts and a lot of fun things to do. So we hope to bring more and more of that to you. Now we're going to talk about our weekly segment called the Players Club. This has been one of the most popular segments we've had so far. It's an exclusive set of interviews with players only of American football, male and female, from all over the world to discuss their experiences with American football, what it's like to play, where they're from. And, we have Americans coming in here, Europeans coming in here to play here in Brazil, and vice versa. So it's going to be a lot of fun to learn about their experiences and stuff. And we just had another great one last night. So we're going to bring in Daniel now and have him tell us a little bit about what's going on. How's it going, man?
Hey, Coach. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
No, it's going well, man. It's really good to see you again. And it looks like you had a lot of fun last night. Tell us what happened.
Antes da oportunidade que a gente teve aí com o Mega, né, semana passada, foi um grande prazer ter o Corey junto com a gente, né? A gente falou bastante aí um pouco do histórico dele, falamos sobre o que ele vem passado aí no Brasil, algumas dificuldades, mas assim, um grande prazer que ele teve de juntar com o Rio Preto Whalers. Também falamos um pouco da história, do que ele passou lá nos Estados Unidos, e agora sendo papai também, a gente conversou com a mulher dele, É um grande prazer ter ela com a gente, né, a Cíntia. Falamos um pouco também sobre algumas rivalidades, está aí a camisa, se vocês verem, né? Pessoal aí do Spartans, né? Sabe muito bem do que eu estou falando. Então a gente conversou bastante do que é ser um jogador aqui no Brasil. Tem bastante novidade. Falamos também de uma liga que eu e ele jogamos não junto, mas na mesma liga, chama Empire Football League, que é em Nova York. Então tem bastante novidade aí para nós.
Ótimo, man. All right, guys. Well, now it's going to be, now we're going to announce some big news here. The guy that we're about to announce, I think, is well known down here in Brazil. He's easily one of the top 5 players in the entire country. He's played for a variety of different teams here, been to some combines in the United States as well. And we're really looking forward to having him come on, and he's going to be a co-host with this show starting next week. So before I get into anything there, let me introduce to you Victor Hugo Mega. Come on in, man. Yeah, say what's up, brother.
Coach. I'm too glad to be here and be part of this Snack family, so I'm just excited.
Muito enamado para você join the team. Meu português, mas você pode falar em português sem problema e falar com eles agora.
Fazer parte da família Snack. Grato pelo convite do Coach. E eu acho que vai ser muito divertido fazer parte dessa família. Acho que tem muito conteúdo informativo. É muito legal também compartilhar histórias. Muitos jogadores feras vindo aí. Eu fico feliz de fazer parte também, até porque a gente pode contar um pouquinho do cenário do futebol americano brasileiro da nossa perspectiva, né? Da perspectiva dos jogadores, da perspectiva dos coaches, né, dos dirigentes. Então acho que vai ser muito divertido essa nossa discussão.
Muito animado. Em futuro ele tem uma segment da Mega Minutes. É muito legal quando tem entrevistas com brasileiros. Essa ajuda com, meu Deus, meu português às vezes é muito legal, mas também não só para isso. Você é um jogador e é melhor para compartilhar sua experiência como jogador, porque é perto da season, temporada do futebol americano, e no futuro falando coisas da temporada NFL, da NCAA, e outras coisas as well. So, muito animado para isso, para você também.
Eu estou muito empolgado, como eu disse antes. Acho que é muito bom para todo mundo que está assistindo também, para todo mundo que entra, fica ligado, assina, se inscreve no canal, porque vai ter muito conteúdo informativo, tanto dos jogadores, e para quem gosta de esporte, né? O mais importante.
Exatamente. Eu acho pessoas agradecer também, porque você é uma brasileira. Não, esse show não só para o Brasil, mas esta mostra de todo mundo faz bem coisas, não só para o Brasil, para os Estados Unidos, e também build the bridge between the dois países e Europa também. So, é muito legal, muito legal. So, vou falar mais. E ela ia iniciar terça-feira, tem uma bem show no futuro, anúncio de pessoas, vai lá. E fala pouco em inglês também agora. Just so you guys know, Victor is one of the better players here in the United States. He does speak English, so don't worry about that. He's a little shy today, so we got to get some beer in him or whatever and knock that off. But, it's really going to be exciting to have his perspective, not only as a Brazilian, but, somebody that plays the game at a high level, and it's really going to help out with when we're talking about NCAA and professional football in the NFL when the seasons kick off and with some of the interviews. So, but he's going to be an actual co-host. So he'll be in with us at different parts of the show, not just for a couple of interviews, but throughout the entire show. So we're really excited to have him on and, discuss a variety of different topics and have a good time. So it's really going to be great. So don't feel shy, man. It's all good.
No. Just one thing. For me, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I like LeBron James. Jordan is the GOAT.
See, and there you go. He's already smart, and he says Jordan's the GOAT. What about? Wait a minute. So wait, who's your NFL team?
Right now, I like Minnesota.
Minnesota. Really?
Because sometimes I don't follow the team. I follow the players.
Sure.
I don't build this culture about football when I was younger.
Sure.
I like all the players from college, and after I also some players, some team drafted the players a lot right now from team. So,
And what about NCAA college? Do you have a team that you like besides my UCF Knights?
I like Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, is Mike working? Hello. I think we're having a bad connection here. You can't say Alabama in my house, man. I know this is shit. You cannot say. Okay. All my team right now back in Alabama that does this show is in Birmingham. So right now they're giving each other high fives. So thanks a lot. No, go ahead. Sorry. So Alabama.
When I was playing for in 2017, we tried creating some mentality for Bama mentality. So sometimes we face some teams, some strong team in Brazil.
Sure.
We know we will win, but we need to create them mentality. Like,
Sure.
just doesn't matter who we are playing. We need to dominate. Like,
Right.
Dominate just every position, special teams, defense, offense. So just that, I don't know.
Well, it's very interesting, guys, especially for my UCF fans in Orlando. You hear the date that he said, 2017. Now, what happened in 2017? Bama lost to Auburn, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. My team, UCF, went undefeated, the only team in the NCAA. Then we went to the Peach Bowl and kicked Auburn's ass, finished undefeated, and claimed the national championship. So, okay, we all know that the rig system of the NCAA is always the top 4 teams every year. It's always the same teams. Bama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and LSU is usually in their top 4. It's a rig system until you get to the top 8, whatever. 2017 is definitely UCF's year, man.
You're right.
So we're already gonna have some fun. And he's a fan. Oh, man. So, but hey, listen, we're really excited to have you on. It's going to be an honor, and we really look forward to doing some great things with it. And look forward to seeing you Tuesday night, man. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, follow ice. All right, guys, let me squeeze in here for a second. Wow, I tell you, it's going to be an amazing experience, having, Victor here, especially here in my home. I mean, it's great. He actually lives close to me now here in Sao Paulo, and it's going to be a lot of fun to share some football topics with him and other things as well. Now, we're going to get to our first guest. Our first guest is going to be Chris Thompson, who was a 5th-round draft pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He also played with the Chicago Bears and other teams before playing in the CFL and NFL Europe. Now, I just found out today as well, the CFL has named him as one of the potential top players of the decade. So this guy can really ball, as you're going to see here in a few minutes. He's now the DB coach of the Nicholls State University Colonels in the NCAA. And let's take a quick look at the video.
Second and 10. Pressure. Here's Weston Dressler. And he dropped the ball. It's picked up. Joe Burnett. Race for the end zone. Cisco can't catch him. Touchdown, Burnett. His second of the season.
To Weston Dressler. He takes a big lick that pops the ball loose.
Munoz and Thompson, the tackle that pries the ball loose. And Cisco closed ground, but Burnett had too much of a head start. 5.8 seconds left. From the 33. Gonna air it out. Jump ball. 3 riders in the neighborhood. And it's intercepted. they'll move into a first-place tie with the BC Lions.
Eskimos had it well covered up.
Boy, he bounced back. Here's Kevin Glenn on the roll. Wide side of the field and a catch for Johnny Forzetti. 50-pound advantage, just pushed him out of the way, and now second and goal again for Forzetti. And it has been picked off. Chris Thompson came up with the football. Took it away from Johnny Forzetti. And the Eskimo defense holds. Ronnie Fruit back to the Eskimo defense. Extra DP. Here's a shot in the end zone. And it's intercepted. Chris Thompson takes another away intended for Forzetti. And he's caught out. And he's still going. And finally runs out of gas at the 28. But it's a two-pick night for Chris Thompson. And both came in the end zone. Second and 13. And it's gunned over the middle and up for grabs and picked off. Chris Thompson has his 25th career interception. And it's the second thrown by Burris here in this opening quarter. Halfway through the fourth quarter, Henry Burris down by a touchdown. Has some time. Wants to go deep. Chris Williams. And it's intercepted. Chris Thompson's got it. His second of the game. Across midfield. And now flips it. And it'll be Ron Williams to plunge ahead down to the Hamilton 51-yard line.
Thompson runs right underneath that one, plays the football perfectly without worrying too much about the receiver.
So Thompson has 5 interceptions.
Wow, Chris, man. Hey, after watching that video, 6'1", 200 pounds, running a 4.5, you're trucking the hell out of some people, man. I tell you, it's an honor to have you on here, and welcome to the show.
I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. I'm thrilled to be here.
Now, as mentioned earlier, you grew up in Louisiana and then had an opportunity to play football in college at Nichols there as well. Or I guess, are you guys still using Nichols State, or is it just Nichols?
It's still a state university, but we go by Nichols now, but it's still a state school. But we use Nichols Colonels now.
Because I remember, Nichols State actually used to play UCF back in the day. They don't anymore, but I know back in the day they used to. But, what was it like for you to play in your home state of Louisiana, be close to family and friends? And was that a primary reason for you to decide to play there for your college?
The biggest factor was they offered me a full scholarship. And they were the only school that offered me a scholarship coming out of high school. I had no choice but to take it. I mean, I was thrilled that somebody wanted me to come to this school and play football and get education. So I jumped at the opportunity,
Sure, no doubt. It was the same thing with my brother and I. I mean, we had some other schools, but staying home was a big factor. Now Louisiana is well known as being a breeder for talented defensive backs. I mean, recently LSU has had a run of DBs go to the NFL.
Absolutely.
They've been using the moniker, kind of going back and forth with Ohio State, Texas. It's calling themselves DBU.
DBU.
Is there something about the coaching there at the high school level in Louisiana, or is it the Cajun cooking? What's contributing to all this down there?
I think it's a combination of all those things, man. Great coaches, guys are hungry, willing to work. I mean, and just football being an outlet for a lot of guys, they put a lot into it, put their all into it, and they just go all out for the game,
Sure. And Louisiana has always been one of the top states of talent. I mean, you got Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana. I mean, that's the cream of the crop, for getting players. So that's fantastic. Now, in 2004, you were drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 5th round. Can you take us back to the day you received the call, and can you kind of describe your emotions knowing you were going to the league?
I still remember like this yesterday, man. I was at my parents' house. We had a little party, a little get together. Had about 20 people over. I knew I was gonna go. I had a feeling I was gonna go in the draft. I was getting a lot of phone calls prior to the draft, so I had a good feeling about it. Just didn't know when, and that was the most nerve-wracking part about it. So like I said, I had about 20 people at the house, but I spent most of my time in the back bedroom by myself, just nervous, man. My stomach was in knots, just not knowing what the outcome was going to be, and everybody was up front. and I got the phone call, and they let me know that I was going to be selected with the next pick, and my heart I just fell to my knees, man. Just thank God for that blessing. You know, my dream had came true.
Now, what was that experience like? Because we've seen on ESPN, like the one year where Aaron Rodgers was sitting in the green room forever, and other players that have been kind of waiting around, and they think maybe I'm going to go to this team, and then something else happens. Were you talking to your agent? Were you talking to your coaches? Who were you kind of talking to on the build up to receiving that actual call?
Oh, it was my agent. He was letting me know what was going on. I was actually watching the draft. I was seeing my name at the bottom of the ticker, saying the best available that was still left out there. And like I said, it was just a nerve-wracking experience, man. Just not knowing when that phone was going to ring, if it was going to ring at all, But I had faith, and my agent was like, just be patient, and your time's going to come. All you want to do is get in there and make a name for yourself, and that's what I wanted to do, man. So I was pleased with the outcome. A lot of guys don't get the opportunity to get drafted, let alone make it to the NFL. So it was a blessing.
Awesome. Now, as your career progressed, you also played for the Chicago Bears and then for the Browns and the Dolphins. And coming from a smaller school, did you think that kind of fueled your game a little bit? As a playing field always levels out at the professional level, but did you kind of play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder?
Absolutely. I mean, knowing that I was at a small school, I had to do more than most guys at the bigger schools. I can remember going up there on my recruiting visit and telling my dad, I want to make it to the NFL, but Nichols isn't known for putting guys in the NFL. And my dad told me that, if you're good enough and you work hard enough, they'll find you. And he hit the nail on the head, man. They found me, and I was able to get drafted, like you said, and had to make a career out of it. But when I played, man, it was all about hard work and dedication, man. When I stepped on the field, it was time to go to work. It didn't matter who I was playing against. I had the same mentality,
Sure. Now, what are some of your favorite moments playing the NFL? And then conversely, can you talk about some of your worst as well? Because I know we as players, man, we experience the best of both worlds, or the worst in some cases. So can you remember, a moment that was probably one of your best moments, and then, one that probably wasn't as good?
Well, primarily I was a special teams guy, but I can remember the Minnesota Vikings game. We already clinched our playoff berth, so I got to start that game to play at corner, and I had a pretty good game, man. I was all over the field, had a couple PBUs. I had a pick, but it was out of bounds, so it didn't count. But I just had a good game, man, good solid game, a lot of tackles, and that's what really solidified me and let me know that I could play in the NFL, So I was happy with that game.
And which team were you with at this time?
That was Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, who else did you have in your defensive backfield that year?
It was me, myself, Nathan Vasher, Charles Tillman, Mike Brown was the safety, Mike Green, Urlacher was the middle linebacker. I had a lot of guys around me, man. It was a great team, great atmosphere, great city, man.
Yeah, Charles Tillman was an absolute beast too, man. Wow, that was a great defensive backfield. That team was really good. And what about
talking about
the
worst moment? Conversely, it was also with Chicago. I would say it was the worst moment. It was the NFC Championship game. We were playing against the Carolina Panthers. And like I said, I was primarily a special teams guy. But that game, man, we had just got decimated in the backfield, and guys were getting hurt. And it was the third quarter, and I hadn't played all game at corner. So coach threw me in there. Somebody got hurt, threw me in there. And I knew what time it was. I've been around the game long enough. You got a new guy in the game. They're going to try him.
Sure.
And so I would line up against Steve Smith. I knew it's going to be a vertical ball, a go ball. And it's kind of one of those moments, man, where time slows down.
Sure.
I received the ball released from the quarterback's hands. And in my mind, I'm saying, I'm going to pick this ball off. Because that's my game. I can play the ball pretty good in the air. And we're running stride for stride, man. I'm like, this is going to be a turning point right here. And for whatever reason, my feet and Steve Smith's feet got tangled up. And I fell, but he wound up staying up. And he stayed up and caught the ball, man. And that was a big point in the game, man. And whatever reason happened, but
yeah,
one of those things,
Now, as a Bucs fan, I know all about Steve Smith, and I can't stand him. But I'm so glad he's not playing anymore. But I've seen him do some things that he was an amazing athlete. But
absolutely.
Now, was that Jake Delhomme's team? Who was quarterbacking back then for Carolina? Do you remember?
That was Jake Delhomme. It was.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
That was the year before the Bears went to the Super Bowl, 2005.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Sorry about that. Pour some salt.
That's all good, man.
We got a bad connection. No, I'm kidding. Now, later in your career, you played one season in the NFL Europe and then went on to play in the CFL for 8 years. And as I mentioned earlier, you were just mentioned as one of the top players that you're up for the All-Decade team, which is an amazing accomplishment after also being named an All-Star 4 times. Now, besides the rule differences, what are some of the major differences for you when you were playing in the Canadian Football League?
The biggest thing was the field was different. It was a bigger field, bigger end zone, and there's 12 men on the field instead of 11. It's an extra receiver on the field, and also the biggest thing would be the endless motion. So receiver can take a head start at you before he runs his route at the line of scrimmage. So you got a full head of steam coming right at you, and you got to know how to cover these guys with all that space and all that field. And that was the biggest adjustment I had to do. And actually, when I came home in the off season, I still had a lot of buddies still playing professional ball, and they weren't moving at me, so they were stationary. And I mean, it was so much easier then.
Sure. Now, many players here in Brazil have aspirations to play in the CFL. We just had a combine here a few months ago, and in Europe and with the German league. A lot of players want to go over there as well. What are some things you could share with them as far as the differences of playing in a foreign country? In other words, what was that experience like for you?
It was a great experience, man. I loved Canada, man. It was a great country, great people. Just a friendly environment that welcomed us with open arms. It was like a place away from home. I didn't. Back then, I would have played on the moon if they had a football team. Man. I just loved the game, loved the sport, and they gave me an opportunity to play, man. And they welcomed me with open arms, like I said. But every part about it, I don't have anything bad to say about Canada. The game itself, it was a great league and a great country.
Sure. Now, again, we talked about a little bit earlier. You're a big DB, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and you're banging out a 4.5. Did they play you more as a cover 2 run stopper, or did your coaches want to line you up in a slot to inflict punishment on people that are going over the middle as a possession receiver? Where did you mostly play?
Well, coming out of college, I consider myself a cover corner. But I'm a football player. I can fit in any scheme and just, make the best of my ability, And when I was in Canada, like I said, it's an extra receiver on the field. So they had me playing inside, being more physical with those guys at the line of scrimmage, So that was a tribute to my talents.
Sure. Now, the game has changed a lot today, even when you played, which wasn't that long ago. But what are some of the challenges you face now when you're coaching? You're the DB coach for Nichols. And some of the techniques you might have used when you played, but you can't use today because the rules have changed a little bit.
I think the biggest thing is the tackling, man. The game has moved so much to a player-friendly atmosphere now. You got to be careful when you're coaching these guys how to tackle properly so you don't get penalties and stuff like that. And also making the game safer, man. But as far as the game itself, I mean, when I was playing, it wasn't so much RPO game, like run-pass options. So now your eyes really got to be right now. Because if you make the wrong mistake, it can be hell to pay, So when I coach my guys, it's all about eye discipline, man. You got to have your eyes right.
Gotcha. And speaking of, coaching now, in this time with the coronavirus and so on, how has that affected your preparation with your team? And when do you expect that you guys can actually get back on the field and start practicing again?
Well, over the break when we were shut down, man, we had a lot of Zoom meetings, like we're doing right now, man, and it just kind of made you become a better coach and just trying to get different avenues to teach the guys and get them to understand what's going on. But just having those tools really helped out during that time. Mm-hmm. I've been back in the office now for 2 weeks, and we've got guys working out in small groups. We're doing social distancing,
Sure.
And from what they're saying, we'll have open access within the next couple of weeks, like mid-July, have everything open back up, but still maintaining social distancing and trying. It's gonna be a process, man. A lot of trial and error, but we're gonna get through it.
And that's interesting. I just saw, LSU. They had, I think it was like 20 or 30 players that, apparently picked up the coronavirus. They came back, but obviously none of these players are dying, thank God. But
Right.
Picking up the virus, then they pretty much done with it. 10, 14 days and getting back on the field. How do you think that's going to play out for the NCAA this year? Are they going to change have they said anything about changing the amount of fans that are going to go to the games, or what are they telling you guys internally about that?
Right now it's kind of hush hush. I mean, we don't know exactly what's going on, what they're going to move. I think it's all predicated off the governor in each state and about how many people can be allowed in one space and whatnot. But I think the NCAA right now is leaning towards, having open season, having fans in the stands. But I'm not sure what the mask protocol is going to be and stuff like that, and seating protocol about social distancing. So we're just going to wait and see. But right now, everything's going on as forward as planned.
Sure. Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it's one of those situations where, the NFL is going to get back to work. The coaches are back in the facilities and they're supposed to get back in the field late next month. So hopefully, between both, it's a little different scenario though. NCAA, I don't think they're going to play unless the school can resume. So that's going to be a little bit tricky of a situation. But with the NFL, that's their job. So obviously, I think they're going to do some things with the crowds. And
I can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
I lost you on the last part.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Let's see here. Are you able to? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear him. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Okay, I think we just had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. I guess that's what happens when you spend time talking about the coronavirus. Looks like my computer got the coronavirus, so that's what happens. So no worries. We'll get back to that in a second. But you can tell, I mean, wow, playing defensive back in the NFL and the CFL is a hell of an accomplishment, and to play at the level that he did is really exciting stuff. So we're really looking forward to spending some more time with him, possibly in the during the football season, bringing him. So that'd be great. It looks like we got him back on here. Chris, can you hear me? It's okay. It's okay. The game has changed a lot today, like I talked about, and it's really interesting what you were talking about with the coronavirus and how that's going to affect your team. As we go back to what we were talking about, if you had to kind of choose a couple of your best teammates in either the NFL or CFL, who would they be and why?
Well, actually, one of my best friends I actually got a chance to play with in Canada, Fred Stamps. We grew up together here in New Orleans, and he's actually up for the All-Decade team also. He was on a team with me. A guy by the name of J.C. Sherrod was in Edmonton with me, great linebacker, played at Eastern Washington. We developed a great friendship while I was up there in Canada, man. Just a great guy in the locker room, just a great teammate, and made a lot of guys around him better.
Sure. Now, one more question in reference to that. Now, speaking, one of the guys, your best teammates, what was some of the hardest players to play against? Now, you mentioned Steve Smith earlier, but can you name a couple other players that you went up against that were like, damn, do I really need to line up against him again?
Well, funny fact, I was never beaten for a touchdown in college, and that touchdown I told you about was the only time I got beaten in the NFL for a touchdown. But my rookie year in Jacksonville, playing against a receiver by the name of Jimmy Smith every day, I was on the backup secondary, so I faced him every day, man. He was one of the best receivers I ever faced in my life. He was just a great receiver, great athlete, and I learned a lot from playing with him.
Now, Jimmy Smith was an absolute stud. Now, was that with Mark Brunell? Was he still there?
It was Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich. There you go. Yep. Yeah, man. Golly. Yeah, Byron now is in Tampa with my boys. So
yeah, he's the OC, right?
Yeah, man.
Quarterback coach.
I'm so excited for him to be there with Brady and Gronk, and all the haters here in Brazil are giving me crap, but I'm excited.
I know he's going to do well, man.
Yeah, he's a hell of a coach. He had a great year last year. Take out the interceptions from Winston, and He really did a great job, and he was a hell of a player, man. Wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That guy had a cannon, man.
Yeah, and it looked like he wasn't even moving. I mean, I just remember watching him play even back in his college days with Marshall. I mean, the guy was unbelievable.
He played on one leg one game.
Yeah, it's that they had to actually carry him. I remember that game. I watched it. They had to carry him because his whole leg was shot. I mean,
right.
But he actually finished like the entire second half playing on one leg. It was unbelievable. So
absolutely.
But all right, so now we're going to bring you real quick to it's a rapid fire segment. This is called the Slack Attack, and let me kind of get in here with you. It's real quick, few questions here. Now, hot dogs or hamburgers?
That's for me.
That's for you. Hot dogs or hamburgers? Yeah.
Hamburgers.
Drake or Future? Now, you know Drake is in Canada and Future is in the USA.
So I actually heard Drake in 2007 or 8. I was actually driving up to Canada when a guy gave me one of his CDs, and I've been a Drake fan ever since.
Okay, there you go. I know he's a big Raptors fan. So,
yep.
Favorite DB in history that you looked up to?
Deion Sanders, man.
Prime time, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to try like hell to have him come on here. He's one of my favorite athletes of all time.
Absolutely.
He changed the game, man. And, people, I don't know, people know this story about the draft, but, the day that he drove up to the NFL Combine, I'm sorry, not the draft, and he just basically got out of the car.
Out of a
limo, dressed up with his, in the full regalia with his chains and the sunglasses. And now it's rumored that he ran a 4.21, because the time was different, but he ran like hell, got
back in the car.
I'm out. And that was all you can do, man. That guy really changed the game and was, his son is a hell of a player. His son is, I believe he's a quarterback. And
he actually worked out with Tom Brady last week, I believe.
I saw that. Yeah, he's right now they got him at a 4 or 5 star athlete, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. But he's one of my favorites as well. UFC or WWE?
I grew up watching wrestling, but as of late, I've been watching a lot of UFC fighting. So I'm gonna say it's a draw between those two. I like both of them.
Who did you like wrestling? Just out of curiosity, WWE.
I always liked Hulk Hogan growing up.
Man.
The Rock, Ultimate Warrior, going way back,
Oh, there you go. I used to have the little things on my
straps.
Yeah, hell yeah. He was badass. He was really good. All right, and lastly, hockey or soccer? That's gonna be a tough one for you.
I'm gonna go hockey, man.
Okay.
I never caught a hockey game in Canada. I regret that so much to this day. But I caught one. It was a minor league hockey team here in New Orleans years back. But I'm a hockey guy. The physicality of it, just the guys we move on those skates, it's impressive.
Yeah, there is no physicality in soccer. Sorry, guys. I love soccer. I love my Brazil friends, but the Neymar tumbles and you touched me and falling. I can't get with it, man. But hey, it's a great sport. But man, hey, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on with us today, and wish you the best of luck at Nichols this year. And hopefully, maybe in the future, when we get into the season and stuff, we can bring you back on and talk some more football.
Absolutely, man. I love that.
Awesome, man.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my man Victor here for a second. Now, Victor, you being a receiver, how would you like playing against a guy like that? Now, this guy is 6'1", 200 pounds, ran a 4.5 40. I mean, because you're what? How tall are you, minus or minus?
I'm 6'4".
6'4". Okay, so he's 6. What are you running the 40 in these days?
The last one's 4.68.
4.68, man. So good speed. So for you playing against a guy of that size, what does that do to you kind of changing your game as a receiver?
Man, I think it's more difficult because he's strong. He's fast.
Right.
I think for receiver, you need to be technical. Right? You try. I think I need to run more fast than him because I'm strong.
Sure.
He need to turn his back for a back pass.
Sure.
So I need the technique, call it just right. I can't wrong because
Sure.
if you touch my chest, my game is over. I can't I believe right now the game for receiver change just fast because we need to learn a lot of things about release and change just fast because another receiver maybe 2 or 3 years ago I'm learning don't let the beat press your chest.
Sure.
Right now they don't even know because they don't need touch my chest.
Right.
They need just did the technique. So right now it's tough, man. It's tough because he's a baller.
Então, essa mesma coisa em português para eles também. É muito difícil quando uma defensive back tem esse tamanho porque é mais fácil para ele jam você antes você sair, correto?
Acho que como wide receiver, a gente precisa ter técnica muito afiada. Muito afiada. Muito técnica e não deixar encostar a mão no teu peito.
Certo.
Um wide receiver, um corner dele, encostar a mão no teu peito, técnico e rápido, acabou o seu jogo.
Certo.
Então, acredito que o wide receiver hoje em dia precisa treinar muita técnica e ler sinais.
Sim.
TBs, hoje em dia, até os mais treinados, eles mostram pra gente sinais, tendências. Sim. Então, acho que hoje em dia, o jogo, cada vez mais os jogadores precisam assistir vídeos, assistir filmes e procurar tendências.
Exatamente.
Eu tento adaptar o meu jogo a cada tendência de cada adversário. Se ele tem a tendência de tirar o quadril dele para a esquerda, para a direita. E acredito que hoje em dia o DB que consegue se manter paralelo e ser paciente, ele dá mais trabalho para qualquer wide receiver.
E ele também, falando, ele favorito atleta Deion Sanders. Meu Deus do céu. Imagina o jogo com ele. Meu Deus.
Deion Sanders mudou o jogo para qualquer DB na NFL. Ele realmente mudou o jogo na NFL e no futebol americano no mundo inteiro.
É verdade. Bem insight, man. Muito bem. Nossa, é muito legal falar com ele e também no futuro pode falar com ele mais com esse show também. All right, agora we're gonna move on. You know, it's really exciting to again have him on, Chris Thompson. We really appreciate you coming on. And now we're gonna go on to Hellen Simões Guimaraes. Desculpa, eu sei, você fica muito bravo e não fala correto, mas ela pode bater em outra desculpa, mas ela she's from São José da Lapa in Brazil. It's in a state called Belo Horizonte. And she's currently the defensive line coach for the men's American football team called the Sada Bulldogs in a city called Betim, and is also the former CEO, or I'm sorry, she's the CEO of this team and the former administrator for the CBFA, which is the Brazilian American Football Association. Let's take a quick look at an intro video for Helen. Helen, meu Deus do céu, desculpa, eu sei, eu falo seu nome errado, mas bem-vindo a este show. Finalmente, bem-vindo mesmo.
Tranquilo, sem problemas.
Então,
Falou até bem.
agora você tem a camiseta do quem? Green Bay Packers?
Isso, o Green Bay Packers.
Ah,
Amo muito esse
ai,
time.
ai, tá bom, tá bom. Então, Helen, antes de entrarmos na sua carreira de futebol americano, vamos falar um pouco sobre você. Você crescer numa pequena cidade de Belo Horizonte, Brasil, como foi a infância? Como você se tornou tão apaixonado pelo futebol americano?
Ah, desde a minha adolescência eu já gostava bastante de tudo que envolvia os Estados Unidos. E o futebol americano veio por eu sempre gostar de esportes. E por gostar muito de esportes, eu sempre acompanhava canais, ESPN. ah, Aí eu comecei a aprender, assistindo cada temporada que eu assisti, eu aprendia mais, e eu vi o tanto que esse esporte. Aí isso me deu mais curiosidade para poder aprender um pouco mais. E sempre que tinha jogo, eu parava tudo que eu fazia para assistir. E era meu momento de maior alegria,
Sim.
sabe? De torcer pelo meu
Eu vi a
time.
sua cara, nossa, você é muito feliz quando você falou, nossa, e quando você se envolve pela primeira vez no futebol americano, principalmente do futebol bandeira, você basicamente disse aos times que trair água para os jogadores só para entrar no campo. E você pode nos combinar através dessa experiência?
Ah, quando eu conheci um time pelo Facebook de Belo Horizonte, eu vi que tinha vários times em Belo Horizonte. Eu comecei a acompanhar um time novo. Eu entrei em contato com eles e mandei uma mensagem se precisava de alguém para ajudar e que eu queria fazer parte do time de qualquer forma, que eu entendi um pouco sobre e que se tivesse como carregar água, entrar no time, eu faria isso, mesmo que fosse para só estar no campo no meio do time,
Sim,
sabe?
claro.
E com isso eles me mandaram uma provinha, sabe, para fazer, e eu fiz essa prova. Eles viram que eu sabia um pouco mais, não sabia muito sobre flag football, mas bastante sobre o futebol americano em si. Então, depois de umas 3 semanas, eles me chamaram e eu comecei a ir.
Muito legal, muito legal. No ano passado, você faz parte da equipe de trabalho com CBFA, com Ítalo. E como foi isso e o que você aprendeu sobre as status do futebol americano aqui no Brasil?
Foi uma experiência maravilhosa. Eu aprendi de perto como é o futebol americano fora do campo, né? E tudo que envolve a parte do crescimento da modalidade, de um time, de um campeonato, e toda a parte de escritório, né? Que ninguém vê, mas tem que existir. Eu aprendi muito e até comecei a gostar. E depois dessa oportunidade que eu tive, eu percebi que era realmente o que eu queria fazer, que era estar no esporte, ajudando o esporte a crescer, organizar tudo para o espetáculo acontecer, né?
Sim, claro. Né, falando da CBFI, levante a opinião de que equipes brasileiros deveriam se concentrar mais na tentativa formar parceiras com universidades nos Estados Unidos e NCAA, possivelmente desenvolver um programa de bolsas de estudo ou um caminho para colocar nossos atletas em campo nos Estados Unidos, o que aumentar a sua capacidade de fazer uma lista de atletas NFL ou CFL. E depois de trabalhar e ver as coisas da sua perspectiva, você acha que isso é possível?
Olha, eu acho que isso é maravilhoso, porém vai demorar um pouco mais tempo, porque precisamos conscientizar os times que precisam desenvolver melhor as categorias de base, porque a maioria dos jogadores já estão numa idade que não dá mais para fazer para entrar nas universidades americanas, então se os times se conscientizarem que tem que prestar atenção mais na categoria de base, aí sim eu acho que vai deslanchar o Brasil nos Estados Unidos em parceria com várias universidades.
Esse é bem ponto mesmo. Não, Ítalo recentemente se mudou agora de treinador principal com o Sada Bulldogs. Anteriormente, você conhece ele, desculpa, anteriormente conhece o Betim, né? E você entra como o COO e técnico da linha de defesa, minha posição. Para isso, vamos, muito legal. Vamos começar com a sua posição como COO. Por que a Betim mudou o nome deles para Betim da Sada? E você acha que outros times no futuro fazem isso também?
O Betim mudou para o Sada Bulldogs por questões de conseguiu o patrocínio da empresa Sada.
Sim.
E com isso eu acho que com isso eu acho que com o patrocínio do Sada Bulldogs os times devem fazer um pouco mais de esforço para conseguir um patrocínio, sabe?
Sim.
Porque sem esse patrocínio fica complicado, sabe? O Sada Bulldogs agora tem um programa da lei de incentivo do governo, que como mudou o nome e a empresa que está patrocinando, parte dos impostos do Sada vem para o time. Então, mudou um pouco, mas continua o mesmo time.
Também, realmente, eu acho isso muito bem a ideia. Eu acho outros times precisam pensar isso. Agora, em Brasil, é muito difícil pegar uma patrocinador e tem um nome, por exemplo, da, não sei, Bradesco Storm, as an example, or, SIE Lightning, or whatever the case may be. Eu acho isso bem a ideia mesmo, porque, de novo, aqui em Brasil, especialmente agora, coronavírus e coisas, claro, mas patrocinadores é difícil. So, para vocês, parabéns, porque eu acho realmente outros times precisam pensar isso para marketing. Eu acho muito legal, muito bom. Agora com a minha posição, meu Deus, da linha de defesa, uma das minhas posições favoritas, como está onde eu costumo jogar. Na verdade, um dos meus ex-técnicos da UCF estava na linha de defesa há algumas semanas. qual é o seu estilo de treinar esta posição e quem inspirou como treinador e ou jogador da NFL para você?
O meu estilo de treino é basicamente ficar mais próximo do jogador, tentar fazer com que ele evolua, ele queira evoluir. E eu passo a técnica para ele e tento fazer com que um dia ele tá ruim e ele tente evoluir o máximo cada dia que passa para ele fazer o melhor que ele pode fazer, sabe?
Sim.
E é basicamente o que o head coach pede para treinar, né, no caso. Mas geralmente é o básico várias vezes, repetidamente, para poder fixar bastante o movimento, e o movimento virar natural, sabe?
Sim.
E um coach que eu me inspiro é o Vince Lombardi, do Green Bay Packers, né? E um jogador, Julius Peppers. Adoro ele.
É muito legal. E meu primeiro jogo da UCF, eu tenho outra história para você rapidinho. É uma freshman no colégio lá e de duas pessoas em frente a mim. Ele joga linha ofensa e linha defensa. Duas pessoas em frente a mim, eles hurt, como fala, machuca. Não pode continuar. E meu técnico, ele on the show 2 semanas passadas, não, uma semana passada, ele fala comigo, Slack, você precisa entrar. Eu falei, porra, eu não sabe tudo mesmo da playbook, mas tudo bem. So, ele fica na linha de ataque e da primeira jogada, de outro lado, do nome Gabe Wilkins. Gabe Wilkins joga da Green Bay Packers, ele vai da Pro Bowl muitas vezes, muito grande demais. Ele, I don't know how to say em português, mas mais ou menos 6'6", 350 livros, ok? Demais grande. Esse, um ano antes ele vai de NFL. E da primeira jogada, eu juro, ele bate meu capacete e meu capacete vai mesmo isso. Ele olha o que você tem no ouvido. Esse é meu primeiro jogada da collegiate, like, bem-vindo da collegiate, meu Deus do céu. So,
a primeira jogada foi um choque já.
Mas depois disso, tudo bem, mas, oh, meu Deus, difícil. A linha de defesa é uma posição crítica para o sucesso de qualquer defesa, em qualquer nível mesmo. Quais são algumas coisas que você tem a instalar em seus jogadores para ajudar a ter sucesso em campo?
Eu acho que eu vou muito do psicológico, sabe? Então, eu acho que a capacidade do jogador querer aquilo, querer ser melhor do que ele era, eu acho que se colocar isso e falar para ele, você precisa melhorar a sua entrada no gap porque tá ruim.
Sim.
Se você falar isso com ele várias e várias vezes, ele vai querer melhorar mais do que ele fez antes. A minha ideia principal eu falo com ele, tenha raiva do QB.
Claro.
Você precisa ter raiva do QB. A bola é o seu neném, então você tem que ir até ela. Você tem que chegar lá. Todos esses offense line é a sua barreira, é seu muro. Pula esse muro e entra e segue o QB.
Sim.
É o que eu mais falo, sabe?
Então, eu entrevistei Paula Chirotti no outro dia, que agora joga profissionalmente com da Phoenix Red Tails. Ela joga defensive linha também. E como brasileira e como mulher, você pode falar sobre o sentimento de orgulho que você teve compartilhar vendo ela e outras do Brasil dar realmente esse próximo passo.
É incrível isso que está acontecendo. Várias jogadoras brasileiras estão indo jogar profissionalmente no Brasil. Isso está sendo um reconhecimento incrível do esforço que elas fizeram, sabe?
Sim,
Porque não é fácil ser jogador de futebol americano no Brasil. E principalmente ser mulher. Não tem apoio de quase ninguém, a não ser do time que você está. E o esforço que elas fizeram para chegar até esse nível é incrível, incrível de ver. É para qualquer mulher no esporte se orgulhar, porque é uma batalha grande, bem grande. E eu acho que isso vai fazer com que todas as outras atletas que sonham em ser reconhecidas por isso, corram atrás e não desistam, sabe?
sim,
Vai ser incrível. Eu tenho certeza que no ano que vem, todas que já praticam futebol americano aqui no Brasil vão ter muito mais garra, além do normal, né? Porque mulher já tem uma garra a mais. Então, eu acho que vai ter um incentivo muito maior para elas, saberem que existe essa possibilidade de sair do Brasil para jogar profissionalmente no país em que é o berço do futebol americano.
sim, sim. Então, o futebol americano feminino está crescendo aqui. O apetite, você fala, é enorme. Mas parece que não está organizado quanto o jogo masculino que afeta o jogo. O que, na sua opinião, preciso acontecer para que esse esporte crescer aqui e tenha mais sucesso?
Eu acho que primeiro deveria ter mais divulgação, sabe? Porque poucas pessoas sabem que tem times femininos. Os que têm não fazem tanta divulgação pro resto das pessoas, sabe? Ficam só entre o meio do futebol americano no Brasil. Eu acho que se várias meninas souberem que existe essa possibilidade de estarem jogando, de estarem treinando em outros times, com certeza vai aumentar o número de jogadoras. E eu acho que também muitas desistem ao longo do tempo por não terem reconhecimento. Agora, com esse reconhecimento, vai mudar isso, eu tenho certeza.
Sim.
Que várias meninas vão querer continuar e chamando outras pessoas, outras meninas para participar, e eu acho que agora vai crescer bem mais. Bem mais.
É muito animado para essa nova liga, WFLA, e eles agora, em futuro, tem 32 times nos Estados Unidos, e eles jogam quarta-feira à noite, em 2021, eu acho. Agora eles têm mais ou menos 10 jogadores do Brasil, feminina vai lá, e eu acho que no futuro tem muito mais também. Eu acho que isso ajuda a crescer o jogo aqui, porque, claro, você ia aprender mais jogo lá, e a mesma coisa do soccer. Os Estados Unidos precisam enviar muitas pessoas vai aqui aprender soccer, porque, nossa, eles não jogam bem nada. Eu acho muito enamorado para esse esporte aqui, e realmente quero eles crescer com isso. Mas você ajuda também. Você é uma técnica aqui, raramente aqui, e realmente espero você tenha bem temporada com seu time próximo ano. Claro, eu muito enamorado para ver você também. agora preciso da fogo rapidinho da Slack Smack, ok? Essa Slack Attack perguntas rapidinho. Let's see. Rock music or sertanejo?
Sertanejo.
Ah, meu Deus, aí eu sabe você fala isso. Ai, ai. Pão de queijo ou salsicha ou ambos juntos?
Ah, é difícil.
Eu sei.
Ambos, os dois.
Tá bem. Nossa, Belo Horizonte, a comida em Minas é muito legal. Ela experiência essa
Sim.
quando lá é muito bom. Nossa.
É muito
Técnico
bom.
universitário favorito?
São vários.
São vários. Não sei, how about the
São vários.
NFL? É mais fácil da NFL?
Eu vi esse Lombard. Não tem outro igual. Não tem.
Tá bom. Marca favorita de sapatos?
Adidas.
Adidas. Ok. Aos domingos, fazer compras ou assistir futebol americano? Durante a temporada.
Futebol americano, com certeza. Com certeza.
E
Deixa tudo para assistir.
e time preferido de NFL?
Green Bay Packers.
Ok. So confirma. Nossa, olha, muito agradecer você vai aqui agora conosco em novo show e espero no futuro pode falar com você demais quando a temporada iniciar e claro conseguir sua carreira da linha de defesa. Eu falo com você, pode falar mais com esta posição tanto também. Muito obrigado e agradecer o seu tempo.
Eu que agradeço por tudo, por esse convite. Foi maravilhoso participar. Muito obrigado mesmo pelo reconhecimento.
Nossa,
E vamos conversar bastante, sim, sobre futebol americano. Pegar várias dicas com você.
Tá, vamos lá. Tchau, boa noite, obrigado.
Tchau, boa noite. Obrigado.
Alright, so, Victor, meu Deus, como você sentir? Nossa, agora futebol americano feminina, agora crescer muito aqui, agora você viu uma técnico de linha de defesa, which normalmente usa uma posição muito agressiva e você pensa homens, mas agora ela ama essa posição. Como você sente isso?
Que bom, né? Que bom, fico muito feliz de ouvir.
Pode ficar mais perto desse meio.
Fico muito feliz de ouvir a participação da Hellen. E que bom que o futebol americano brasileiro feminino está crescendo dessa maneira. A gente tem já 2 garotas selecionadas para a Liga Profissional Americana. E 2 coisas que a Hellen falou, eu achei muito importante. Acho que eu fico muito grato, muito feliz de ver que o futebol americano caminha assim. Muita gente fala assim, o futebol americano... Eu acho que o futebol americano caminha assim a passos largos aqui no Brasil. Ela falou algo muito importante, que a gente dá prioridade na categoria de base. Os garotos que a gente vê agora de 14, de 15 anos, né, e as garotas de 14 e 15 anos, que vão ser o futuro do futebol americano no país. O jeito que elas veem o futebol americano se adaptando hoje em dia vai dar uma sequência para a futura geração. E outra coisa que ela falou que achei muito legal, que é a questão da mentalidade. Aqui no Brasil, a gente não tem de berço, né, de pequenininho, criado essa mentalidade de você estudar e ser um atleta, de ser competitivo. Eu acho que isso os atletas americanos, os americanos, o esporte americano, ensina bem melhor para os atletas.
Sim.
E aqui ela tenta passar essa mentalidade de você ir para o treino, querer ser melhor e treinar todos os dias. Né? E eu acho que o futebol americano feminino só precisa de um pouquinho mais de atenção. A gente vê aí atletas brasileiras profissionais. Aí a questão que eu sempre falo acho que você não precisa que alguém te dê dinheiro para você se considerar profissional. A exemplo dessas meninas, elas estudam, trabalham, têm a profissão delas e comem certo e treinam direito e foram convidadas para uma liga profissional. Então, cada vez mais o futebol americano brasileiro vem crescendo e o futebol americano está aí, feminino está aí mostrando que vem crescendo junto com o masculino.
Yeah, it's a really good point. You know, he's talking about the mentality of the game. You know, the women's game, you know, they don't need money. They don't need anything. They play for the love of the game. And it's a really good point. And I'm really excited to watch, you know, her career and what they do. And obviously with Paula that we interviewed the other day, we're going to definitely have some more players on from the WFLA and other Brazilian players here. And it's exciting. But people don't realize also is here in Brazil, it's the third largest television market. And the majority of those people watching the game are women.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's incredible. So it's really exciting to see the growth of the game. And, you know, we'll definitely be paying attention to that in the near future. So now looking forward to next week. Now, next week is going to be awesome. It's going to be your debut. You know, we're going to have you doing your thing on the show with the Mega Minutes. You know, first we're going to have on Felipe Pereira. Now, Felipe is originally from Brazil, but lives now in Naples, Florida. He's been very active in the American football game here for the last 5 years, being the former president of the Miners down in Santa Catarina, as well as international relations manager for the CBFA. He was also very instrumental, as you know, in bringing in the CFL Combine here earlier this year. Now, lastly, he was just recently appointed to the IFAF, which is the International Football Association, as a member of a committee focused on building a strategy for football competitions in the Americas. So he's an all-around great guy. You know him, like I said. He has his own show called Live with Felipe Pereira, where he does a lot to help his businesses in Southwest Florida there. And we're really excited to have him on. So he'll be the first guest we have on. And you're going to be doing a lot of that interview, so it's going to be exciting to have him on as well.
Com certeza. O Felipe Pereira, eu conheci ele no começo da minha carreira, e o Felipe Pereira vem contribuindo demais com o futebol americano aqui no Brasil, e não à toa que ele conseguiu, ele foi nomeado como membro oficial do futebol americano internacional, e trouxe, eu participei do Combine, os outros jogadores aqui do Brasil participaram do Combine da CFL aqui no Brasil, que foi graças ao trabalho do Felipe Pereira, que ele estende o futebol americano lá fora e mostrar que aqui no Brasil também tem futebol americano.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to see that experience and have you guys get together. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Our next guest that night, again, this is next Tuesday night. We're gonna have Vic Penn. He was the former star quarterback with South Carolina Gamecocks and was actually the 1997 SEC Freshman QB of the Year. Now, his second start was actually against the eventual national champions that year, the Florida Gators, which, you being a Bama fan, I'm sure you're not a big fan of theirs. But, you know, they played Peyton Manning's team when he was still at Tennessee. And he's got a lot of great stories and had a great career. After finishing with South Carolina, went to JUCO for a little while. And then he went to UCF. And was the offensive MVP for that year and led the 12th ranked offense in the country. So he played in the CFL briefly as well and had the opportunity of playing some of the best offensive minds in football, including Jay Gruden, which is John Gruden's brother, Mike Kruzek, who played for the Steelers, John Reeves, Brad Scott, and more. He currently trains QBs. Now, this is important for here in Brazil. All over the globe using a virtual online system. So it's called the Virtual QB Trainer. So we'll definitely be talking about that and how this could help, train people down here in Brazil. So that'll be a lot of fun. Lastly, our last guest, we're going to do 3 interviews this night because this Friday we're not going to have a show. But next Tuesday night, we're also going to have Mark Daniels on. Now, Mark Daniels has been the voice of the UCF Knights for many, many years. And in fact, he does the play-by-play for the UCF football team, the men's basketball team and the baseball team as well. And I'm sure he's going to have a lot of great stories. He knows my family well, my brother and my father. And, it's going to be a lot of fun visiting with him because, again, his connection, obviously, with UCF is huge. And we look forward to seeing what UCF's year is going to be like. And I know he's excited to talk with you a little bit as well about football, American football here in Brazil. So we're excited to have him on. So next week, like I said, this Friday, we will not have a show. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break to return next Tuesday. However, Monday, we will still have the Players Club interview going on with Coach Daniel Clauston. And again, Tuesday is going to be Victor Mega's debut. So we're looking forward to that. And then next Friday, we haven't announced our guest yet, but that'll be coming on normal time as well. So we want to thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube to the show. We're going to have a lot of great contests and things coming up as well. And we really appreciate and look forward to seeing you next week, only on Slack Smack. Staying there is harder than getting there. See you then.